Hello everyone, Dr. Suneel Dhand, internal medicine physician. Welcome to another video. Let's talk in this video about a subject which is close to my heart as a hospital doctor because I see it happen so much and the consequences can be absolutely devastating. Falls in over 65s, falling in the older population. Because the statistics are truly staggering. 1 in 3 people, yes, 1/3 of people over the age of 65 will fall in any given year. And 50%, 1 in 2 over 80-year-olds will fall in any given year. And these falls can range from very minor, you might trip over, get up and continue your day. Hopefully that is a type of fall that does happen most of the time. But they can also cause broken bones when there is a more serious fall. And I can't tell you the number of times that I've seen somebody who's independent above the age of 65. This is usually people in their 70s or 80s. They've fallen, they've got a broken bone. They come into hospital to have it fixed, and then they'll pick up another complication. They'll be discharged to rehabilitation, and they're never quite the same again. Often, sadly, they lose their ability to function independently. I see this happen all the time. That is why it is so important to address any ways we can to reduce fall risk in the over 65s, minimize those risk factors, and utilize any preventive measures for falling. Let's talk first about broken bones. Which bones are broken the most when an older person falls down? This is one of the most serious outcomes, of course, of falling, and underlying risk factors will make this worse, including osteoporosis, weak bones. That's why it's very important to keep your vitamin D levels up, especially as one gets older. That's a whole other topic. Some of the most common fractures we see include hip fractures, i.e. femoral neck fractures. They occur and will usually require surgery after a fall. We see arm fractures a fair bit, wrist fractures, the ulna or the radius being fractured. We see humerus fractures, we see clavicle fractures, that's the collarbone. And we also not infrequently see spinal injury, vertebral fractures, which can be extremely painful, and we have more limited treatment options with vertebral fractures, whether it's the lumbar spine, the cervical spine, or the thoracic spine. So many bones, of course, which can be broken within the human body when a fall occurs. And remember, weakened bones will increase the risk of fractures occurring. So let's touch upon why a fall may happen. Why may an older person fall? I want to talk about a factor here which we don't talk about enough: medications. I'm somebody that likes to be very conservative with medications. I'm a minimalist as a doctor. Medicines only when they are needed, but we have an over-prescription problem, especially in our older population. It's a tragedy. Those long medication lists need to be de-prescribed, and so many medications out there can increase the risk of an older person falling. Some examples include sedatives that are given to help with sleep. They can make an older person in particular very drowsy. Blood pressure medications, basically any blood pressure medication can lead to overtreated blood pressure, where the blood pressure drops, someone will become very dizzy and even faint if their blood pressure drops too much. This happens all the time in older people. Antidepressants, I'm not a huge fan of them anyway. Antipsychotics, particularly prescribed for dementia and to control agitation, they will also increase the risk of falling. Actually, interestingly, that happens a fair bit in hospitals. So basically, any medication that can cause fluctuations in blood pressure, make people drowsy, lightheaded, will increase the risk of falling. And the effect of these medications is exacerbated in an older population. That's why it's very important, if you're on lots of medications and you're over the age of 65, sit down, hopefully with a good doctor. Go over the medication list and make sure that you truly need all of them, because with each passing year, you will become more sensitive to the medications potentially, and that will increase your chances of falling and something really bad happening. So let's talk about some other factors that will greatly increase the chances of an over 65 falling, and something that anybody over the age of 65 should really be on top of. Firstly, poor vision. Conditions like cataracts or glaucoma can reduce the ability to see obstacles. Muscle weakness and balance issues, often due to a lack of physical activity. Environmental hazards, loose rugs, cluttered pathways, ice, and poor lighting create dangerous conditions at home. And other chronic health conditions will also increase the risk of falling, including osteoarthritis, diabetes. Remember, that's associated with neuropathy. That increases the risk of falling and decreases mobility and stability. So how can anyone over the age of 65 really reduce their chances of falling if you want to take a proactive approach? Well, there are lots of ways. It's not an inevitable path to more frailty, gait instability, and kind of accepting that you're going to be weak and fall over. It does not have to be that way. Let's go over some key strategies here that I would like anybody over the age of 65 to remember. Number one, exercise, particularly engaging in a regular program. Absolutely, this can be done over the age of 65. In fact, it becomes more important at a level appropriate for one's age. I'm not talking about running a marathon or becoming a bodybuilder, but exercising as much as possible will really help keep you strong, keep your muscles strong, keep good stability and posture. Studies back this up. Activities like Tai Chi, yoga, and resistance training with weights and light dumbbells are particularly effective and should be routinely incorporated into your daily routine. Number two, home safety. Diligently work on home safety. Removing tripping hazards and improving lighting can reduce these environmental risks. Ensure pathways are clear and install grab bars, handrails where necessary. I know lots of older people who have done this. Number three, vision care. Get your eyes checked regularly. Every year, ideally, if you're over the age of 65. I'm sure many of you already do this, because regular checkups and ensuring appropriate eyewear will help maintain good sight. Correcting vision problems will significantly reduce the risk of falls. On that note, ensure good lighting if you ever get up at night, particularly if you're using the bathroom. I can't tell you the number of stories I hear when there's poor lighting and people fall at night. First thing you should do when you get up, switch that light on. Good lighting is necessary if you're going to walk around at night. Number four, medication management. We've already touched on this. Talk with your doctor. Hopefully, again, you have a good doctor to ensure that medications are truly needed, that all the benefits outweigh the risks, and this needs to be regularly reviewed. It's not enough to do it once and not do it again for 5 years. You should ideally be doing it every year because there are so many medications which increase fall risk. And number five, diet. This is obviously a huge area of interest of mine. I really want to stress this. It is not an inevitable path to becoming weaker and weaker. You are what you eat at any age. Continue to ensure a balanced, wholesome diet, rich in protein. That is where so many people over the age of 65 fall down. Keep on ensuring adequate natural protein, not those fake drinks, but real protein, as long as you can tolerate it. Protein is crucial, we all know this, for good muscle strength, and that will aid in maintaining balance and preventing falls. As well, ensure adequate vitamin and antioxidant intake so you keep up with your metabolic health. Vitamin D is also very important. Hopefully you're already taking a vitamin D supplement, particularly in the colder months. Keep your bones strong and reduce the chances of osteoporosis. So by taking all of those proactive steps, if you're over the age of 65, you can really help to reduce your chances of becoming a statistic. One of those dreadful cases that I see come into the hospital with a broken bone. They need an extended hospital stay, and then they're usually discharged to rehabilitation. They don't go home. Don't be a statistic. Of course, there are no guarantees in life. You never know what is around the corner. You can only do your best to stay healthy and take all of these measures to reduce your risk of something bad happening. You owe that to yourself and also your family. I know a lot of people over the age of 65 have a lot of concern that they don't want to be a burden to their family. Stay strong, keep going. There's always something you can do to lower your risk of something bad happening. Take care, everyone. I hope you found that useful. Dr. Suneel Dhand, let me know your thoughts down below. Feel free to comment. I enjoy reading all of your comments. Check out my website and my free downloads. Those links are down below. Hit the like button if you like this video and the bell button for more similar videos in the future. That really helps with the algorithm and getting these videos out to as many people as possible. We will speak again next time.